Hi, Branwen.
Hello.
What is your favourite line from The Mandalorian Chapter 20?
We begin as raw ore. We refine ourselves through trials and adversity.
Nice.
Emily Swallow, anything she says is gold.
I nearly rewound it to write that down and then I didn't.
Is it part of a massive speech which I wrote the entire thing?
I was waiting to see if you'd do more of it.
No, I thought that's the nugget for me.
That's the nugget.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
Seah,
Hi.
what's your favourite line from The Mandalorian Chapter 20?
He is too small.
It's not wrong. It's
not
true.
Wrong. He's too small. He's really small.
He's very, very small. SMOL.
But is he too small? No.
No. It turns out he's not. You're listening to Sisters of the Force, a Star Wars podcast with me, Branwen.
And me, Seah. Hello.
And we break down Star Wars stuff.
Yes.
We're currently near the end of our Mandalorian watch in advance of the film, which is very, very soon coming to the cinema.
I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
Well, I can tell you what we're going to do with ourselves.
I mean, yes,
and it
I
know. many, many seasons of many, many episodes of an animation show. Yeah, I'm very excited about the film. I'm getting more and more excited. There was a little Empire magazine article about it recently. Not recently for you listening, but recently for us recording. And there were some exciting pictures. There's just been a little bit of like extra flurry. The Oscars happened.
Yeah, Grogu was at the Oscars.
Grogu was there. So, yeah, we are planning a special secret Sisters of the Force event around the film.
Oh, my God.
Which is going to be amazing. I'm so hyped.
It's going to be exciting.
It is. But for now, today, we are just going to be digging into Chapter 20, The Foundling.
Yeah.
Which is a cool little episode. It felt very contained, compact.
It's quite short.
Contained.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite short.
Yeah.
Only sort of two main things happened within it, kind of thing.
It's quite nice. It's quite a relief.
yeah, after like the epic of last week, and well, this whole season so far has been pretty deep.
Yeah, there's been a lot going on, and then this felt like a little aperitif of an episode.
Yeah, it's like a little, remember the kind of pulpy one-off episodes we used to do? This is one of those.
We're going to do that again.
It's a Carl Weathers directed episode, which is cool. Sadly, I think it's the last one that he did for The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But it's a great one for him to have done.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
It's got like high action, adventure, fun, which I feel like is his bag.
Yeah.
The title of the episode is The Foundling, and as always with these Mando episodes, it feels like there are multiple possible...
It's kind of dual foundlings, many foundlings actually in this episode.
Yeah, I was going to say, because we've got Ragnar, obviously, who's presumably the main...
Foundling.
Foundling.
I've got questions about him, but I think we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there later.
We will. Grogu is, I mean, technically Din is still a foundling, but, you know, he's just
he's a grown-up now.
And we got 3 Shriekhawk babies, which are also foundlings. Which again we'll get to.
Which are like adorable and terrifying in equal measure.
They're terrifying, they're ugly, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
Like baby pigeons. Have you seen a baby pigeon?
Yeah. Like featherless baby pigeons.
They're so ugly, but so cute at the same time.
Yeah. So we have a recap, which I bet you skipped. Did you skip it?
No, I did not skip it.
You watched it?
I watched the recap today. The episode was so short. I watched the recap. Also, my brain's fallen out of my asshole as far as I'm concerned. So everything.
So you needed the catch up.
I need the catch up. I've got no idea what's going on.
But it was worth watching because there was a clever bit of audio collage where they overlaid 2 voices saying, I shall walk the way of the Mandalore, namely Ragnar and Din.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Like they ended up in sync and really cool. I also had the subtitles on and it reminded me of how there are 2 different spellings of Mandalore.
Yes. One with an apostrophe.
Yeah. And no E on the end. It's like Mandalore.
Yeah.
And then the regular spelling, which is just a one word with an E on the end. And it gave me vibes of the thing that we've talked about many times on the pod, which is that multiple names for
2
things.
names, yeah.
And it's kind of a version of that, even though it's the same sounding name.
Yeah.
It's like the Mandalore with the apostrophe is almost like the original Mandalorian language version of it. And then,
sure.
which if you live in Wales, and I'm sure this is true in other countries with minority languages or whatever, Welsh is an old language. It's been here forever, and there's a lot of work to maintain the language and keep it going.
Yeah.
And that means that a lot of road signs have Welsh and English instructions on them. Or
More predominantly Welsh now.
yeah, they're trying to make the Welsh language always has priority over English, which is super cool because it keeps the language alive, which it needs to. But you'll notice if you come to this country that a lot of the Welsh words, if you know how they sound the same as the English words, but they look different. And it's that thing of like how they've been anglicised.
Yes.
And I feel like this is a version of that where basic speakers have taken Mandalore and written the version of it that they thought it said. Audibly kind of thing, which is interesting.
It is interesting.
It gives the mythology a more real feel, I think, which we've always spoken about in terms of like different names for things. And this is a really specific example. I love it.
One that you would only get if you turned the subtitles on.
Yeah. We're straight into a Mando training fest.
Yeah, they are going nuts. There is a lot happening. Everyone's in training. Everyone's battling.
There's hand-to-hand. Yeah. There's flamethrowers flaming each other and seeming to not hit each other.
Seeming to be fine. There's a little bit of jetpack action.
Yeah, there's some jetpacks. There's blasters going off into the lake.
And like the last time we saw this lake, quite a scary beast came out of it. They are not really hiding.
No.
So they don't seem too bothered by the fact that there's definitely lake monsters.
I guess with all of them in like fight mode, they're all like primed for action at this point.
Yeah, but it took a Naboo starfighter to get rid of the last one.
True, this is true. I guess why they choose to stay there. They're weighing up the pros and the cons. You know, the obscurity of the planet is a pro, but the dragon tail is a con.
For sure.
But poor little Grogu's not involved. He's sitting on his own.
I think he's having a whale of a time. He's playing with hermit crabs.
Yeah. These little stone crabs, which I don't think have got any other name than stone crabs. Apparently.
Yeah. I just went hermit crab because that's what they look most like. But
yeah, they gave me big Pixar vibe, like the Pixar shorts that they do.
Yeah.
Like there's one about a sandpiper that's got some crabs in it, and it really reminded me of that. It's probably some of the same animators, maybe.
Yeah, excellent.
There is a bit where he picks one up, and I was wondering if there's a puppet.
Is he going to eat it?
Oh, yeah. Well, firstly that. I don't know. I think he was sort of friendly with them. I don't know.
Don't know. I thought he was going to eat it.
Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
I thought he was trying to work out how to eat it.
Oh, maybe. I think I was naively thinking he was just like making friends with them in his like using the Force to commune with creatures vibe that he does.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
But I guess if they're smaller than him, then they become
food.
Different. Yeah. But yeah, was it a puppet picking up a puppet? Or
it
was
looked
it
like it, didn't it? There was a lot of, it was kind of, it looked like magnets to me because there's at the last little second, it just kind of springs into his hand. I was like,
I'll need to rewatch. Yeah.
Little magnet. Maybe a little magnetic Grogu hand.
That wouldn't surprise me. All the magic of ILM.
Yes.
But playtime's over, says Mando. Yes. I'm going to need you to focus.
Which, baby, come on. What?
Well, I think he's hoping that Grogu is going to up his game a bit.
Yeah.
Because he's chosen to come with him. And
he's chosen to be a Mandalorian.
The way, yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose Jedi school wasn't exactly much playtime either.
Yeah. Most likely. I don't know when they start them off with lightsabers, but they look pretty young in the prequels.
But yeah, instant. I'm sending him in for a challenge.
Yeah, which Bo is not feeling this at all.
No.
They did mention about progressing from a foundling to an apprentice. Which
yeah.
I don't know if we've heard that term before. It reminded me of the Jedi, and there is like always this parallel between the Mandalorian Creed and the Jedi Code. And I mean, they're very different things in some ways, but there are similarities, and it feels like these tiers of like how you start as a foundling or a youngling, and then you progress to a Padawan or an apprentice, and then you become a Jedi Knight, and then you become a Mandalorian.
I don't know.
The next level up would be just reminded
the
me
armorer.
Of those parallels. Yeah.
Who is the next level
the
up?
armorer like the head of the Jedi Council, I guess? I don't know.
She seems to hold a lot of authority.
Yeah, she's certainly a master.
Yeah.
I guess. Whereas the others are all knights, maybe. Din drops this line about one does not speak unless one knows.
Yeah.
To the kid. In other words, shut up, I think, is what he's saying.
The kid goes, I know.
yeah. He's not going to cave.
Which is the attitude of a kid, really. Like, well,
totally,
I do,
especially a newly minted. We've seen this kid recently get made an apprentice. Yeah. So he's got attitude, which he's going to need. It's not going to do him any good, though, in the end.
No.
They put the little firing thing on Grogu's arm. I think Bo does it, and Bo's giving him some really lovely encouragement. I was just, Bo-katan, you're my mum.
She just goes, don't worry, my dad was the same way.
Yeah.
Learn to fight, and off you go.
And this thing that we're seeing him put on is, I think it's the same one that we've seen in the trailer for the movie.
Okay.
So he's evidently going to have this because he's got his little chest plate that we see getting made later on. Yeah. And all of that is in the trailer. So he's obviously going to be kitting himself up for something. At the moment, they're just paintball.
Yes, paintball darts.
I'd forgotten that. I was like, are they actually going to fire darts at each other?
That's clever, though. I like it. Yeah, awesome. They're children, essentially, still. So
I'm quite up for a Mandalorian paintball adventure.
That would be really fun, actually.
Why has nobody done that? I think that'd be pretty fun.
I haven't been paintballing in years. For someone who is as anti-war as I am, I do love paintballing.
Yeah. It's designed to be fun, isn't it? I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does hurt. But most of my hobbies hurt, so it's fine.
Grogu finds this out quite soon. He gets hit by a couple of splats.
Yeah, quite quickly. Din goes, don't look at me, look at him. Carry on.
Yeah. Do what you do. He's don't
hold back.
I mean, I think Grogu was being honourable by not immediately using his force skills, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that as an approach from Grogu, but Din's like, no.
No, go for it.
Just do it.
And he does the cutest tiny little flips.
Yeah.
Lots of little flips. And then 3 straight hits. He's just bouncing all over the place. So that the kid's like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah. Distraction force bounce, I think we'll call that.
Yeah.
And it pays off, 3 splats. He's making up the rules.
Quite quickly, though.
Yeah.
No, it's a dragon. What is this thing, please?
This is called a shriek hawk.
A shriek hawk.
Apparently, I found that out on Wikipedia, I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I don't think it mentioned it in the subtitles. Apparently, it was on some Topps trading cards, which, the little collecting card things, which is where it was named. But it's not anywhere else. I did have a look in the bestiary book, but I couldn't find it.
Bo-Katan calls it a raptor later on. But
yeah, I think a raptor is sort of a generic, for anything that flies and hunts. Yeah. I mean, birds of prey in the real world are called raptors, like hawks and stuff like that. So it's like a hunting, flying thing. They also refer to it on Wikipedia as Reptavian, which is the same name as they gave those creatures on Navarro. That bit Grief Karga on the arm. Yeah, and they're not. They do look similar, and those things are in the bestiary, and they are called Reptavians, and it talks about their poison bite and everything.
Okay.
But they're definitely not the same as this. This looks bigger, and it hasn't got the poison bite, I don't think.
It looks scarier.
They do look pretty scary. And it immediately whips the poor kid.
Away,
Ragnar gets taken. And as we find out later, digested.
Yeah, regurgitated.
Overnight.
How did he survive that, please?
Beskar, maybe.
Beskar,
we know from the Book of Boba that Beskar is...
But he looks like he's only got a Beskar helmet on at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't have full covering, does he?
No, he's not got full armour.
Yeah. He probably had some pretty bad burns, is all I can speculate.
Yeah.
And scarred for life. I mean, that's going to be trauma forever.
Not pleasant,
Spending the night inside a shriek hawk.
Inside the belly of a thing.
Oof.
Gross. Gross. There are some amazing flying shots. And we get the point of view of a jetpack at one point. You just see just the corner of a jetpack.
Yeah. You know where we're going.
I said the keyword. It's a bit like QI, when the klaxon goes off. This is what I feel like now.
That. It's become that. It was never intended to be that, but it's become that.
Wait for me to say the keyword and then raise your eyebrows and then play the soundboard.
Listener, this is West End Geek Girls, where we pick a thing from this episode or whatever it is we're talking about, and I do a bit of West End Games role-playing game rewind research. I found this episode quite tricky because this is not very much stuff that's likely to be in the role-playing game.
Yeah, sure.
But we've already done Boba Fett's armor. I did that in one of the, I think, Mando Season 2 Boba episode.
I think so too, yeah.
So we will have mentioned jetpacks. We also mentioned all the other things. But I just thought I'd pick it as a thing because I remembered seeing it somewhere. And I scoured through my books. And I found a few mentions in some of the Galaxy Guides. There's a Galaxy Guide called Fragments from the Rim. And it mentioned a certain type of jetpack called an Arakide Whisper or Arakid Whisper, which is then also mentioned in other books as well, like continuity of like brands and stuff is quite good in the role-playing game. They also mention it in the Empire Strikes Back Galaxy Guide, just specifically about Boba Fett, and it described the sort of stats for his jetpack. But then I found the thing I had in the back of my mind, which was in Galadinium's Fantastic Technology, Guns and Gear for Any Occasion, which I did mention in a previous episode, I think, which is the most bizarre book of role-playing game rules ever. It's got so many weird things in there, and I'm sure we'll be drawing on it again in the future. And it had a massive section of jetpacks versus rocket packs.
Okay.
Which I was immediately interested in because I've never known the difference. It tells you a lot about the Arakid Hush About jetpack, which is the Arakid Aerodyne's incorporated Hush About AJP 400, which is a personal jetpack, and it tells you how much it costs and what it does and everything else.
Yeah.
But while particularly impressed with the advanced soundless design of the Hush About, Galadinium continues to stock a variety of jet and rocket packs for all your personal transportation needs. A comparative listing of models is given below. When deciding which model best suits your particular needs, consider the following. So it gives you a whole load of blurb about the difference between jetpacks and rocket packs. And it seems like jetpacks are lighter, quieter, probably cheaper, and tend to operate in a sort of a burst mode where they'll just take you so far on a burst of the fuel. Yeah. And then you often have to let it cool down before you can fire it again. And there'll be a limited number of bursts depending on how much fuel you can fit into it and stuff.
Okay.
But you can sort of do continuous flight if you keep doing bursts. So I'm guessing that that's not what the Mandos use. So I think the Mandos are using rocket packs, which are self-contained units providing direct thrust from a regulated mixture of large amounts of combustible chemicals. Which sounds so dangerous. Very, very on brand for Mandalorians. They can operate in zero, low or high atmosphere situations, which jetpacks you can only use in atmosphere.
Yeah.
But Mandos, you can go into space with them. And definitely we see that in the animated shows for sure.
That would make sense.
Yeah. They're more adaptable, more versatile.
Right.
Yeah. That's basically it without getting into the nitty gritty of it. But I do love how deep the Galadinium book goes. It's written from the point of view of like a kind of big supply store of anything you might want, from like small little tiny things to huge vehicles. Nice. And everything in between. It says rocket packs are typically faster than corresponding jetpacks, which again is very on brand for Mandalorians, and designed to provide a better all-environment flight capability. By comparison, jetpacks are generally lighter and quieter to operate. It mentions the Aratech Screamer, which is a hybrid, by the way.
Okay. Does that mean you can go into space and
it could be quite quiet.
It could be quite quiet.
Maybe.
Very good.
Yeah. I love the level of detail of these
books,
so cool. Particularly Galadinium. I meant to take note of who wrote the Galadinium's book because it's brilliant. But I'll definitely be using it again. Anyway, that was your little jetpack / rocket pack breakdown. So maybe
we've been doing it wrong. We could be calling them rocket packs, yeah.
To be fair, I think everyone uses jetpack just because it's quicker to say. It's got one less syllable.
Yeah. True.
But I'm going to try and say rocket pack.
Rocket pack. All right. I will tap that into my brain.
Yes.
It's a rocket pack, not a jetpack.
But going back,
Sweet.
we do see some really cool stuff. We see them running out of fuel, which is, I think that's what made me like, oh, I'm sure I've read about this somewhere.
Okay,
the fact that we see they can't go unlimited, because I think we've asked that before on this podcast, like how far can you go on a jetpack?
How far can they go?
Paz says when he runs out of jetpack juice or rocket pack juice, he says it always gets away.
Yeah.
And just that line suggests that this has happened before.
Yeah. They've lost kids to this thing before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, again, very dark, considering it's like quite a fun, pulpy episode. It's like, wow, this is actually
it keeps eating your children.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Thank goodness for Bo-Katan. She's certainly earning her keep in this covert.
She's on it straight away.
Always there in the gauntlet.
Yeah.
And she doesn't mess up. She doesn't try and blast the thing out of the sky and obviously put the kid in danger. She just does.
She just follows it.
Yeah. Does a bit of a, what do you call it? Like
recon
a reconnaissance.
Yeah. A little recon mission.
So she comes back. She's got a holo map with exactly where it is.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Love a holo map. I love a 3D holo map.
She is particularly cool in this episode, actually.
She is. And if you remember a few episodes ago, I called her out in a good way for her 3D holo map acting.
Yeah.
I meant to watch this time, but I forgot.
See if she still
She's really good at it. Katie Sackhoff for the win.
She was good.
And by the way, she's been, all along, she's been denying that she's in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Like,
has she?
Categorically, they haven't called me, blah, 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 blah. But very recently, she said something about the fact that her character is written after Dave Filoni's wife.
Oh.
I think name-wise. So she's basically saying, don't worry, Bo-Katan's not going anywhere.
Right.
While Dave Filoni's still in control, we're always going to get Bo-Katan.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's her, like, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she showed up at some point. Like, she seems to always just show up at the right moment. So we'll see.
See if she is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, it felt like she knows something we don't, which I'm always excited to think.
Yeah. They make a very quick plan.
Yeah.
Of like, right, off we go then.
Part of that, actually, it's just struck me. Paz says they can't use the rocket packs because they're noisy.
Yeah.
So if they had jetpacks, if they had their Arakids hush about.
That's true.
AJP 400, they could have just like...
Do they refer to them as jetpacks as well, though?
I think they use both terms because I've written down rocket pack when I'm talking about Paz in my notes. So I'm guessing he said that and I wrote it as he said it, kind of thing.
Interesting.
So,
I forgot to check.
Yeah, we'll have to check next time. Now we're clued up.
Now we
start,
know.
Like, picking apart the script. John Favreau, you haven't read Galadinium's fantastic technology, guns and gear for any occasion. Get on it, mate.
We'll find you out.
The armourer helps join in with the plan. She's got a very particularly gorgeous accent.
She does, yeah.
She's always got this very precise English accent, but it felt like extra juicy this week, and I'm here for it. Can we have Emily Swallow with an English accent reading Mandalorian
all of
audio
the
books?
things.
Oh my God.
Just
I'd
everything.
Be there for that.
Read everything. She tells Grogu that he's too young to go and he's not allowed to go with them. And
she becomes the best babysitter.
Yeah, you are now with me, child. Come in.
Come into the forge.
And see how this works.
We get a very ghostly utterance of the guitar motif, but it's back on guitar now, like the original.
Yes, I wrote that down.
I love it.
The Forge music cue is my favourite music cue. The guitars, the percussion, strings, great.
Yeah.
Great.
As it develops, the strings go all bendy.
Yeah.
Portamento, they're like sliding between notes. That's what portamento means for...
Yeah, for those who don't know.
Non-muso heads. And it's very mysterious sounding, and it tells us that we're going into a mystical bit of story. And it also kind of tells us we're going to have a flashback.
Well, it sets us up because we know what the armourer does.
She's almost like a hypnotist.
Yeah.
And she starts like explaining, this is the forge. It is the heart of the Mandalorian culture. Yeah. Just as we shape the Mandalorian steel, we shape ourselves. And I'm like, yes.
Yep. There we go.
And then we got that beautiful line about refining ourselves. So good. Yeah. Fair play, Jon Favreau.
And Grogu goes with her.
Yeah, he does. He's wide-eyed.
He's a bit trepidatious, maybe. That's a good word.
Yeah, and he starts to look sad as we know what's going to happen to him because we've seen it happen to other people that they go into these flashbacks.
Yeah.
But he starts to look very forlorn, and we see a very sad time in Grogu's life, I guess, older 66, which is always devastating. it never gets any easier to watch.
It's a really traumatic flashback.
Yeah. I mean, we've had many, many flashbacks at this point. No spoilers, but in multiple other things, we see Order 66 from different people's perspectives.
Yeah.
And it's almost like Lucasfilm love making us feel really depressed, but it's always hard. This one has a lot of joy in it.
Yeah.
Mostly because of Ahmed Best, who is the guy who played Jar Jar, and it's his return to the galaxy. When the news of this came out, and he was at Celebration, I think, that same year, it was just like, oh, this is beautiful, because he has endured so much toxic abuse, and
of course,
on all kinds of levels, absolutely horrific.
Yeah.
He has been in the galaxy in the meantime. He hosted a kind of quiz game show thing called Jedi Challenge, maybe? No, I think I've got that name wrong. Sorry, guys, if you're listening and you know. Come at me on social media. He plays this character, Kelleran Beck.
Yes.
As the host, and kids come on and they have to do like Jedi challenges.
I would love that.
It's amazing. It's an amazing
sounds
show.
Great. I want to do Jedi challenges.
So cool. So the fact that he was back in it, already, it was just perfect that they make him part of the Order at the time of Order 66, and that he is the one that gets Grogu out. I just love it so much.
I was going to ask you about this because I was going to say, do we know this guy? But clearly we do.
Well, only through the quiz show. He is canon, even though the quiz show is obviously not really canon, because it's got all these random kids
children
from real life. But he is a real character.
He's a known character.
He's a canon character,
Excellent.
And he's also co-written a comic one-shot, which has just come out quite recently as well, called Jar Jar issue number 1. So maybe they'll do some more, but at the moment it's just a one-shot. But he co-wrote with another writer. And it's Kelleran Beck and Jar Jar in the same scenario. I've just bought it, so I haven't read it yet, but I'm so excited to read it. It's apparently really, really good. And
cool.
Love it. So
that's good.
That's a bit who he is. Yeah, he's a legit Jedi. He was obviously there. It feels like he's surviving Order 66.
Yeah,
maybe.
It does.
I don't know. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find out when I read the comic. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Find out if that's a thing. We get a hell of a Coruscant chase, which we wouldn't necessarily appreciate if we hadn't had the episode before.
Yeah.
Because we've seen all of these places so recently.
Definitely. We saw the same Monument Plaza with the mountain. So we know we're super high up, which is kind of part of the escape, I guess, is like getting high. We see the tunnels. It's probably not the same tunnels, but he goes through
the train tunnel. Yeah.
Some tunnels,
Yeah. And then he ends up like bouncing through onto the subway platform and then like going up.
Wild chase.
I say subway. Subway means underground, and we're clearly not underground.
We're like very, very
we're very high
above
up.
Ground. Yeah. There was some really nice speeder sound design, both prequel type sound design. I think right at the beginning, before, I think it's when the clones arrive, their speeder that they come in on has a more prequely, the kind of jittery sort of type of speeder. And then when Kelleran gets on his speeder bike, we get the Return of the Jedi speeder bike sound. So we get all of those sound nostalgia hits from, they do this on purpose, I know.
Yeah. They're doing it on purpose.
And I think it was Tamara Morrison doing the clone voices. I did look it up, and on IMDb it said it's him.
Okay.
Whether they're just generic clones,
clone things.
There he is, get him, kind of, like our Stormtrooper.
It does seem to be. It's a lot of like, blast them, they're getting away, don't let them get away, kind of.
But it would have been a nice, easy job for Tamara, and it would have been really lush. I know he loves playing clones almost as much as he loves playing Boba. He does enjoy it. Just before the end of the flashback, we just see Kelleran passing Grogu to a Naboo guard, I think. It's like a Naboo ship.
Yeah.
It's got that kind of sleek chrome look. I'm presuming it's a Naboo ship. And there's a guard that says, what about the others? And Beck says there are no others.
There are no others.
But they've taken Grogu. It just, it obviously is supposed to leave us with loads of questions.
Yes.
Like, where
what is going on?
Are they taking him to Naboo at this point? And if so, to whom? Is there like a Padme remnant? I mean, Padme's still alive at this point.
Yeah.
So did she know Bail is still alive? So does he have something to do with this and the whole kind of Padme Organa link up? I don't know. I'm hoping we're going to find out at some point.
Yeah.
Because obviously at some point he ends up in the hands of some underworld pirates.
Yes, of course.
But there's a good couple of decades in between that we need to...
Yeah, that we don't know about.
We don't know about, and they keep teasing us with these little things.
I wonder if we'll get any more of that in the film. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't, because they don't want to, like, distract. But equally, I would not be surprised if we do, because I feel like there's going to be some stuff about Grogu and his Force abilities in this film.
Sure.
My instinct is like that is going to be a big aspect of the film. There are many clues that have been coming out in some of the stuff around the release of the film that point to the fact that we're going to get some Grogu Force stuff. So that would suggest maybe there is going to be some of that information. But who knows?
Yeah.
We will find out.
Who knows? My next note here is that I was actually feeling a little bit emotional with the armourer giving the plate to Grogu.
Yeah.
In a way that I was like, oh, that's kind of caught me by surprise. I don't know where I was at this morning, but clearly somewhere.
Yeah. It was very emotional. And I don't know. I think having seen him putting this stuff on in the trailer of the thing and like the emotional music in the trailer and the way that made me feel felt very similar to how we see this happening.
How we see it now. I think she's making it and it's got Din's sigil on it and all that.
Yeah, the clan of two, the Mudhorn.
The clan of two, they're the Mudhorn clan. And as soon as I felt it happen, I was also a bit like, am I being manipulated by the music? Because
that's a big thing.
That's what it's there to do.
I think, yeah, absolutely. There were some other nostalgia things. Just seeing the Mudhorn again, like in focus, reminds us of really early on in the Mando. And she's telling Grogu about the donations for the Foundlings, which again reminds us of season 1 and what the covert was on Navarro. And there's a whole load of mixed up stuff going on in there. But I'm sure the music was...
Plus, we've just had this Order 66 flashback that's always going to be a bit of a tricky.
Yeah, it sets us off on one.
Sets you off already.
She delivers a line which was almost my favourite line. You will grow into this rondel as you grow into your station, Foundling Grogu. Yeah. And it was like there's somehow she's putting a stamp of approval, like literally, on Grogu. Like this is the first time she's made something directly for him. And it's too big for him, so she's allowing the fact that he is going to continue on this path. Yeah. Love it. Oh.
Very cute. Meanwhile, on foot.
There's some very scenic shots of Mandalorians walking.
Yes, with some really nice music, to be fair.
Very cool, yeah. We've got that gated synth again that we've been hearing since season 1.
I love the gated synth.
Mixed in with the orchestral, like epic orchestral stuff, but with a gated synth.
Yeah.
So
love
cool.
it.
And it gave me the Lord of the Rings vibes, the walking on the rocks
the journey thing.
And also, it always reminds me of Rise of Skywalker with the Knights of Ren on the planet where they find the Uchi of Bastoon's ship. And there's some like wide shots of them standing on top of a rock and a helicopter shot. So it gave me the same vibes, which again is that Lord of the Rings thing.
The scenery in this, I did have that as a question in my brain, and something's just gone. The scenery in this, it looks quite real. What's going on?
I think we talked about it a bit in an earlier episode of season 3 where we saw this planet.
Where we saw it before, yeah.
And I think my research pointed to the fact that they used some actual scenery in, was it Arizona, I think?
Okay.
Or Nevada, one of those states in the southwest of the US. And I don't think they went there to shoot, but I think they gathered footage there.
Right.
So they did go and shoot, but they just shot footage of the background and used it to help create the 3D volume backdrop. So I'm pretty sure they're still in the volume. They may have built some actual physical rocks or brought some actual rocks in, who knows, but they're probably sculpted rocks to be exactly how they wanted them.
Yeah, sure.
But the backdrop I'm pretty sure is going to be volume.
Yeah.
But just cleverly composited from possibly real footage of an actual location in the US, possibly extended with 3D software. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows how they did it?
I am interested to find out, though.
Yeah. they have this cute little campfire moment, which was giving me Lord of the Rings vibes.
Yeah, definitely.
And Bo-Katan is asking the important questions of, wait, how do we eat?
How do we eat? Yeah, this is what I think where Paz starts to like give her extra respect. He's already been quite respectful, and working with her with the plan and stuff. Like they've collaborated well already, considering that we know Paz is a bit spiky and he is not into the whole Darksaber thing. And I guess he was very skeptical of Bo-Katan originally, but he says, "You're the leader of the party, so you have the honor.
You stay by the fire."
Of staying by the fire, which was really cool. She takes her helmet off, and like her acting, like she didn't do anything. She just takes her helmet off and sits down, and I'm like, wow, Katie Sackhoff took me on a journey. She's like, what am I doing? Like she's working through so much stuff.
Yeah, just in micro expressions.
Yeah, so good. And you can
really
be sure that Katie Sackhoff will have really looked into the whole Mandalorian. Like she knows this character so well anyway, and she knows about the Darksaber, and she knows about the politics and the splinter groups and all of this stuff. But this just must be some extra layer where she's got to like do everything other than voice act and tell us that. It's really, really cool.
It is clever.
She's deep. She's in the Children of the Watch. And so they stayed up all night, which I find a bit weird.
It's a really silly thing to do.
Yeah, they must know that the kid is being digested. Like, surely you can just fly up in the dark.
Eaten. So really odd. I don't entirely know why they did that, other than I
think we just needed a campfire scene.
Yeah. And then they have a quick game plan in the morning, and then there's stealth climbing, which the shot of that, I was like, ooh. Originally I went yes, and then went, actually, no, thank you.
Yeah, the higher they got.
And I love climbing things,
Yeah. At first it was like, this looks cool. But then, oh my gosh, this is high.
Maybe not.
So they're using their whipcord things. They must have grapples on them.
Yes.
That like fly out and lock into the stone.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Oh, no, thank you. I quite like a belay. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. It's this thing of them just doing it solo. Each of them is doing it, and they're being quite laissez-faire with the way that they swing across the rocks.
Yeah.
I'd be like clinging to it.
Yep.
Paz's repeating blaster looks extra heavy.
Yeah.
Like, what? That was maybe not the weapon to bring on this mission. It's so big. So cool, though.
But he's quite huge, and he's very much like, I'm going to do this. And I don't think I've ever seen him without the repeating blaster either.
No, it's part of his armor, isn't it? Really, it's physically connected to his armor.
Yeah.
They get to the nest, and they go into whisper mode, and Mando uses his glitcher-vision TM to see that there is some heat in the nest.
Yeah. There's a heat source.
Turns out it's not the kid.
But at this point, this is where Paz reveals that Ragnar is his son. So, questions being, one, Paz has repeatedly referred to him as a foundling.
Yeah.
Up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, are they all just foundlings until... Because he wasn't found, he was born into this.
But was he?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all calling Din Grogu's dad at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
And I feel like the family units in the Mandalorian world are very different, especially at this point since the fall of the planet.
Yeah.
And the fact that they've all had to go off and be isolated little sects and cults and stuff all over the place. I feel like they're probably relying on foundlings to keep their numbers going, just because there aren't enough like breeding Mandalorians to put a bit of a gross slant on it. So it could be that he is just an adopted foundling.
Yeah.
But Paz is calling him his son because that's how they do. They still need father figures and mother figures.
Yeah.
Even if they are adopted into the Children of the Watch or whatever.
Yeah. So that was my question, was he born into this or was he a foundling? But then if he was born into it and they never take off their helmets. Like, how do you even conceive someone if you're not going to take your helmet off?
That's always been a bit of a question. And perhaps it tells us that Children of the Watch, and I did think about this in season 1, because when we sort of started to realise that Children of the Watch, actually would have been season 2 when we first saw Bo-Katan return.
Yeah.
When we discovered that Children of the Watch they're the only ones that don't take off their helmets.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe they entirely rely on foundlings to keep their numbers growing. and recruiting people effectively. Whereas other parts of Mandalorian culture, you can have, relationships and couples because you don't have to have your helmet on all the time. You can take your armor off for a moment.
Yes, you're allowed to. Yeah, because bo-katan was born into it.
Yeah.
But then we've also had Paz Vizsla talking about Clan Vizsla, and was he kind of born into it as well?
He would have been, because the Vizslas didn't have the helmet rule.
Right.
Not as far as I know, anyway.
Yeah.
It feels like this is part of a new
sect.
Yeah, a new sect of the Mandalorian creed. But it is based on the old ways, so maybe back in the day, this was a thing as well. And it's always been made clear that Mandalorian is not a race. Like, that's not new. We've always known that. I think that's always been pretty much a given. So, which explains a bit about this. Found family is a huge part of Star Wars. When you've got shows like Rebels, that is basically a family of misfits that don't connect by blood, but they become a family. And Mando and Grogu is another example of that.
Yeah, sure.
Luke and Leia don't have parents that they can be with for whatever reason, so they kind of find their family in the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
I guess it's like part of Star Wars, and it feels really super nice and positive to me that it's just a thing. Children of the Watch, they don't even refer to that. It's just, no, he's my son.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ragnar, he's my kid.
Yeah.
Which is great. I don't know. Yeah. But that's never clarified specifically. I'm just speculating.
Speculating about it, yeah. And then the other thing I thought was then this means that even if he was his son either adopted or not, or biological, then he's never seen his father's face, which is, again, kind of a bit weird.
Yeah. Such as the Mandalorian creed. This is the way.
My exact note was, what the hell, guys?
But we know that is a huge thing because we've seen Din show Grogu his face.
Grogu's face, yeah.
And that's he'd only been with Grogu for a short amount of time. Whereas we're talking about now, these kids have probably been adopted when they were very young and have grown up and never seeing their adopted parents' faces.
Yeah.
Or any parents' faces, or any adults' faces, potentially.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
That is pretty wild, isn't it?
But we are in a galaxy far, far away, and anything goes. So
stranger things have happened.
It makes you think. It does make you think, which I guess is the point of... I find the Mandalorian story, lore, creed, all of that is so compelling and so interesting and layered, possibly more so than the Jedi. It's quite different from anything that I'm personally familiar with. There may be people in the world that are more familiar with this. I'm trying to think of cultures around the world and whether there's anything even remotely like this. I don't think there is, but it does feel very different and intriguing. But these are still people. They're still, I was going to say humans, but we don't know if they're all humans or not.
We don't know if they're humans, I don't think, not all of them are they?
I don't know.
We don't know. They don't take their helmets off.
We've only seen human foundlings, but Grogu is a foundling.
Grogu's a foundling.
He's not a human. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's super interesting. But before anything else can happen, the babies attack.
Baby raptors.
I think they're like, I'd put puppets ?
They're great.
I feel like, at least in some of the shots, they're puppets.
They're puppets.
I feel like they made some life-size baby shriek hawks, which must exist somewhere in a warehouse now.
Amazing. I love that. Just knowing they're out there is great. I like it.
Yeah.
My full note for this was, baby raptors, they're quite adorable. Also, this kid was just regurgitated and is fine, ?
Yeah. Gross. Yeah, the parent comes back and just out pops Ragnar.
Yeah.
That's the wildest bit of the whole episode for me. I mean, Keller and Beck, whatevs,
Yeah, fine.
But a kid being,
This kid is fine? Okay, cool.
I mean, birds do this.
Yes.
Seagulls do this. They
swallow
swallow things.
Very much
partially digest
things.
Yeah, that's the point of it. Anyway, Beskar, we'll just say that Beskar protected him.
Yeah, all right, we'll go with that.
It's all
not
good.
A plot hole.
Yeah.
The kid needed to live.
And really then, we are into this final fight.
Yes.
Bo flies off, as she does, to the rescue.
But she's to the rescue again. Yeah, she is very much It's a team effort to do it, but she's the one that's like, straight away.
She is not afraid to put herself in the line of duty. She gets swiped. She loses a pauldron, which I didn't notice the first time round.
Yeah.
Made sense when I saw the end of the episode. And her rocket pack fails, but she rescues herself.
Yes.
Yeah, earlier on, the armourer had said that she was going to extend their lariats.
Oh.
And I Googled lariats, and it turns out they are a type of lasso.
Okay.
Which totally makes sense.
Yeah.
Because when she said it earlier on, I thought she just meant like the whipcord so that they could climb up the mountain easily. But I don't think it was anything to do with that. I think it's like these specific weapons which you use like a lasso to catch a live target.
Sure.
And that's what they do.
Okay.
Mando flies in with his vibra-knife, which was in the first West End Geek Girls, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
I always love it when I see it now. It reminds me of those hazy days.
Yeah.
And he releases the kid. He
manages to get the kid. Yeah. Well, the kid gets dropped and he very much goes in and saves him.
And then always a bigger fish.
Yeah.
The dinosaur turtle turns up again from the earlier episode and
eats the raptor.
Which leaves these 3 foundlings without a parent.
Yes. Also, what? How did they get them onto the ship?
My dad asked the same question. I just said they corralled them on somehow.
So on a wavelength.
Yeah, I reckon they lassoed them, used their, I'm going to use that word again, lariats. So that
lariats.
I remember it.
They were all tied together when they came out, so that makes sense.
Yeah, that's probably how they did it. It turns out Mandalorians applaud by hitting their forearms together, which I like.
I think we've seen that before, haven't we?
Have we? Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I think we have. I think we've seen them do it before because they've obviously got gloves on and they've got plates on their forearms.
Yeah,
so
Beskar on Beskar,
Yeah.
Makes a good sound.
So they can applaud like that, yeah. But it's a very triumphant rescue party.
It is. And I don't know if I'm looking too deep here or searching, stretching.
On. Tell me.
I got vibes with the armourer and Bo.
You got vibes?
And these vibes continue. I'm sure this is not... I remember the first time around thinking, is that... and then, like, it seemed to carry on through the next few episodes. So we're going to be on Vibe Watch.
We're on Vibe Watch.
Because first of all, she compliments bo-katan and says that she's done the most honourable thing in the Creed by saving a foundling.
Saving a child,
And then she says, you're in need of repair, come with me. And it's... Even though they're both wearing helmets, I'm getting vibes. It's something about the body language.
Are you projecting?
Yes, possibly. Come at me.
Also, I wouldn't know flirting if it smacked me in the face, so, you know.
No, well, neither would I. I'm like, in the real world, no chance whatsoever. But 2 Mandalorians, I can spot it a mile off.
You just need masks. Okay, good. Helmets. Take away the facial features and then you can do it.
Yeah, this whole conversation, like, Bo is kind of opening up to the armor. She's becoming very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And first of all, she says, can I have the mythosaur? Which she knows is like quite a big question. I'm sure she knows the answer really, but she's like doing the right thing by asking the armorer because the armorer is the armorer and you've got to ask her.
Yeah.
And the armorer is really nice. As you know, she's never a kindly Mandalorian,
that's
but
true.
like in as much as she can be, she is
quite nice.
And she says, of course you can have it because it's for all
it belongs to all of us.
Yeah. But then she says, what if I told you I saw one, which was almost like who's going to broach the subject, but you know, that conversation. If you know what I'm talking about.
Are you?
What would you say if I saw a mythosaur? I would say that you've had a noble vision. I mean, come on. Subtext. This is Jon Favreau's like way of writing subtext. When you choose to walk the way of the Mandalore, you will see many things. But will we see your face? Yeah. Anyway, it was touching. I thought it was a very beautiful conversation. I'm sure I'm projecting onto it, as you say, but we are going on Vibe Watch. I don't care.
We're on Vibe Watch. Yeah, no, that's fine. We can go on Vibe Watch. I'm just laughing at all of these interactions because I've had those conversations
Yeah.
And I've also been too chicken to have the conversations and just sat back and watched to see if I could work it out.
We have all been there. We've all been Bo-Katan in this scene. 100% we have all been there. Yeah. That's why I think it's so good. And that's why I think it is vibes. Go and watch the scene again and say it was it.
Okay, fair enough.
With
I'll
that
do
in mind.
The armourer seems pretty chill about the fact that Bo-Katan's being like, I saw a real mythosaur. And I was like, well, does she believe her or is she just brushing her off?
Nothing ever jolts the armourer. Like she's like, okay, you saw one. I don't think she's being dismissive or anything. I think she's just doing it. She is what she says. I don't think she lies. Like the most cryptic, she'll just say, this is the way and leave it at that.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like that.
Which she does.
Yeah. Like you go so far down the conversation with her and she tells you everything you need to know, but then you just ask that one extra thing and this is the way.
Sure, this is the way. Off.
This conversation is over. We will see.
Leave me be.
Yeah. See, it was a fun episode. It was only
a fun episode.
50 odd minutes, which is a lot less than we normally do, but I feel like there was a lot in there.
There is a lot in there. And it was
a lot going on.
It was really fun.
It was, yeah. It was fun. It was a good combination of like fun and emotional. Like had quite a few emotional bits and also quite dark and revealing as well. There's a lot of lore in it and
loads of lore.
Loads of less obvious lore. Like in the past in this series we've had lore told to us
like
by
proper lore drops
the armourer or whoever is telling us stuff. But this is a lot more like we're seeing it, show don't tell kind of storytelling, which is really cool.
I kind of like that we've got to see Din and Bo-Katan just in the covert, just living, and like this is their downtime at the moment. Essentially, I know it's not downtime because they have to go on a huge rescue mission, but it is still like we're still getting this kind of day to day between the adventures.
Yeah, before they're building gradually towards retaking Mandalore, and we're going to get there. But for the moment, they're just taking stock, recruiting, I think, in a very quiet, unobtrusive way.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Lush. Well, I hope you enjoyed us going on some weird conversation paths.
It's fine. It's what happens.
We are going to be back again next week with the next episode, which...
Oh my God. It's called The Pirate.
The Pirate. I know which one this is. This is a banger of an episode coming up. I love it. More of the Moss Man.
Yes.
Or the Seaweed Man.
Oh my God. He's great.
He is cool. So we'll be here next week with that. In the meantime,
go and follow us on all the things, please. I'll write a little song about it.
I have suddenly realised that our YouTube versions of our podcast don't have tags on them. I would have thought the tags would have carried from the audio podcast over onto the YouTube version, but they don't.
Oh.
But I've started to put some in, like retrospectively, because that will help them reach some people. But if you are on YouTube, or even if you don't listen to the pod on YouTube,
you can still interact with our YouTube.
If you could go over there and just follow, subscribe to us. That's all you need to do, really. Just go onto YouTube, find Sisters of the Force and subscribe. That will help make the channel a bit more viewable.
It helps the algorithm. We are all submissive to the algorithm.
Exactly. We're all just fighting.
So please go and interact. We're just fighting to be heard and seen. Like the middle child.
Yeah. So anything you can do to help with that is amazing. Help us get to be more significant is what we want you to do.
Yes, like the youngest child.
Give us a little 5-star review. We always ask, give us a 5-star review. And hit us up with messages if you've got any questions or anything you want us to talk about. We are making big plans for what comes up after Mando and Grogu.
Oh my God, it's going to be exciting.
It's very exciting. There's lots of sort of plans alongside each other, which is really exciting to me. We got some new people in the works to bring on, and it's going to be really cool.
Mind blown.
Yeah. But we'll see you next week for Pirates.
Lush.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.